Paralympics showcase incredible resilience and talent. But what if the competition isn't as fair as it seems? According to ABC News, the Sydney 2020 Paralympics revealed that Spain had filled its team with 10 out of 12 players who were not disabled. Now, let's dive deeper and uncover the ethical controversies hidden behind the Paralympic medals. Uncovering the root, understanding the cause. We will hear from experienced individuals, an athlete, and a coach as they share their insights on the underlying causes of this incident.
From a coach's view, I think that cheating in Paralympics comes down to multiple factors. So I think the strongest motivator for that is basically the pressure to win and the rewards that come from winning, such as like monetary rewards, personal glory, and sponsorships. I also think that it can be because if one person sees another person doing it, they might think about doing it themselves, which causes a spark of whether like background checks are needed or if they're not comprehensive enough to prevent cheating. So I think those are the main reasons.
On athletes' perspective, people cheat in Paralympics because of lack of confidence and incompetence. They may feel that their true abilities won't be enough to compete at the highest level, leading them to fake injuries for an unfair advantage. So additionally, financial incentives and sponsorships also play a role. We know that in this era, people will do anything for money.
Today we're diving into a world where determination meets deception. What if I told you some athletes fake disabilities just to win Paralympic medals? Sounds crazy? It's real. From fake muscle weaknesses to using wheelchairs only during assessments, deceiving the system, and it's a massive problem. Now let's talk about the infamous Paralympic scandal happened in 2000 in Sydney, when Spain's basketball team won gold. But here's the catch. Only 2 of them were disabled, the rest faking it. How do we stop this? Here's the fix. Stronger classification protocols, supplementary evaluation, whistleblower protection, harsher consequences. If athletes knew they'd lose their entire career, would they risk it? We'll discuss that in next segment. Welcome back. It's Wheel of Justice, where cheating athletes and enablers face real punishment. Let's spin. Case 1. Vinod Kumar, misrepresentation at Tokyo 2020. Vinod Kumar faked his ability level. He got banned for 2 years. But what about his coach? Let's spin the wheel. His punishment is coaches and officials penalized. Case 2. Thomas Olsner, doping. Thomas Olsner lost medals and got publicly exposed. But what does this wheel of justice decide? It's mandatory sports ethics training. Case closed. Cheating isn't just about athletes. There are a whole network behind them. Here's how we can ensure they don't walk away clean. Coaches, banned for life. Federations, fine and sanctions. Corrupt officials, permanently removed. Brands that knowingly support cheaters, financial penalties. So next time you think about cheating, just know you might have to spin the wheel of justice.
Imagine training your whole life for Paralympics only to lose against those athletes who cheated the system. Frustrating, right? Well, in 2016, that's what exactly happened. And it wasn't just one person's fault, but a failure of individual responsibility at every level.
The Russian Paralympic team was banned from the Rio Games after investigators uncovered a massive state-sponsored doping program. But here's the twist. This wasn't just a government conspiracy. Individual doctors, coaches, and even anti-doping officials actively helped cover up positive test results. Some replaced urine samples, while others turned a blind eye. Imagine if just one of them had said, "No, this isn't right." The scandal could just have been stopped before it went global.
So what would an individual have done? A coach would have refused to let doped athletes compete. A doctor could have exposed the false medical report. A lab technician could have leaked the truth to the authorities. Even one act of integrity could have prevented this disaster. That's the power of personal responsibility. On the lens of a professional, now we are going to hear from a professor, Professor Joanne, on professional learning and get her insights on professional learning in Paralympics. Let's go, guys.
First thing that I would recommend is that the Paralympic Association develop some policies regarding who qualifies as a Paralympian, and probably put some ethics policy in place so that that there's understanding from anybody who's hoping to compete in that event, that they know sort of what the rules and regulations are for actually submitting like their entry, right? Then from there, I think anyone who might be found out with breaking those rules or cheating in some way, shape, or form, there should be some sanctions against those individuals, with some recommendations regarding review of the policies and guidelines, review of obviously an ethics statement for the association, and honestly, sometimes it takes sometimes a severe outcome to deter future Olympians from doing the same thing. So I would probably, if that was actually found out to be true, I would probably disqualify them from ever being able to enter again, unless they could prove that they had a disability that met with their policies for entrance into Paralympic Games.
So, to understand what we have to do when we are faced with unethical decisions, the right answer is to speak up, because if you don't, then who will?
Ethical integrity, walking the talk beyond the microphone. Okay, now we are going to be discussing of what we are going to do. First of all, ethical responsibility does not stop at identifying wrongdoings. It involves personal commitment to doing better. Now, recognizing the consequence of ethical failures and making deliberate efforts to uphold integrity in your own actions. Now, making ethical decisions is not always easy. At all, it's not just always easy to make ethical decisions, and just does that. But standing firm in one's value is a mark of strong character and what leadership. Thank you. The takeaway from this topic is that ethics is a daily choice, not one-time declaration. And how we act when no one is watching defines our true commitment and ethical integrity. Because of compromise, why ethics should never be optional. Smaller dilemmas in professional and personal life. Life sometimes what is legally right may not be ethically right. Short-term gain versus long-term consequences. Compromising ethics for personal or organizational benefits often leads to greater damages. And the role of ethics in leadership. Ethics in leaders inspire the trust and create an environment where integrity is non-negotiable. The takeaway from this is that ethical violation may not always have immediate consequences, but the truth always comes out later. A culture of honesty and responsibility must be embedded from the top and down. Vital discussion point. Sustaining ethical awareness is not just enough for understanding the ethics. We must actively apply ethical principles in decision making. Now, the ripple effect of ethical conduct. Every one person in ethical decision can create a larger impact in an organization or industry or in a country. Ethics is not just about avoiding mistakes, but a creative culture of fairness, responsibility, and every choice we make to contribute to the world we want to live in. The question is, what kind of ethical legacy do you want to leave behind?